Hey everybody, this is Jay Takashi here to bring you guys a stream and called Veterans Day. Even though it's technically not the holiday for it, I just wanted to do something for the veterans. Like I said, they're here to talk about their experiences, their struggles. What kept them whole. What was the key factor in them joining the army. Sorry about that, guys. And basically, what gave them that light to want to do it. Hold on, give me a second. I'm gonna put the link in the chat for all the military veteran cats. If you do not serve any time, I can't let you on because this is only for the veterans. And I know plenty of them that are on here. But if you are, just be sure to type a 1 in the chat if you are, and if you're not, and I said if you don't type a 1, then I can't let you in. Because I said this is mainly just for the veteran guys, and nobody else can get in. This is just their time to shine this day. So, guys, give me a second. I'm going to put the link in the chat, and we're going to get going. And let's enjoy the show. All right, WG, you are? Okay, G, okay. I want you to show yourself on camera for a little bit, and then once I see it, I'll let you in, bro, because I kind of want to get a chance to see what you look like, and also to make sure that, just to make sure you're not a troll or anything, and so you can talk about your experience. Wes, you're here early. Well, hey, man, finders keepers.
Well, you set the stream on in advance, so I knew when it was.
Thank you. I appreciate you being here. And I do want to, since you are, like I said, since you are, a veteran in itself, or you're currently doing military work, can you list the experience you had joining the military?
Well, I joined the Marine Corps in 2001. I was a Marines for 13 years. Let's see, I've been to plenty of countries, lived in Japan for 4 years. Evening there, Mr. 100 Watts.
What's happening? How y'all doing?
Good.
How you
Have
doing,
you
sir?
tried switching to energy efficient?
Say again? Oh,
Making
you
a
on your
light bulb
sales
joke.
pitch? Is that what you doing?
I was making a light bulb joke.
What's good, fellas?
What's good, sir?
Good. So, as I was saying, I joined the Marines. There's lots of experiences to have. There is plenty of adventure. Being stationed in Japan for 4 years, visiting the Middle East. I was in Egypt. Where else did I go? I was in the Philippines. And this is years ago. I was in California for a long time, Mojave Desert and San Diego area. So plenty of adventure to have. You meet a lot of good people. You have to mature pretty fast. Oh, experiences. You're going to meet people that you never thought you could have met. You're going to form bonds that you never thought was possible. The thing about service members is just being a service member, you have a silent agreement between each other to lay down your life for each other. So that's why it's always such a powerful bond.
I can resonate with that personally because the things I hear from my father tells me, what my brother tells me, who have both done the service, they tell me it's a real thing. Brothers in arms. When you're around that group of military men, you guys just gravitate one towards one another, and it's the core unit that nobody can ever separate because you guys get close to each other, and y'all just literally share the things, your family, if you feel like sharing that, or you just share maybe some the things that your dad did to other them. So I hear a lot of stories from my father and my brother, at least what the cats they have told. But sometimes, but here's the main thing. He said their deep stuff, I literally keep that to myself because that's amongst us brothers, and I can't let anybody know their business. and that's something I kind of really respected him for not telling me. So
If I
I
can
get
expound on something.
Go ahead, brother.
So that the bonds that he's talking about, like it's amazing because you get to understand the level of those bonds, right? So the bond that you have with the service members who are at your duty station is cool because y'all go to work every day. You know, we have the same job, we have the same skills, everything like that. But then when you have an opportunity to do something like get deployed, like because my time in the sandbox, those guys that was on my team, the bond that I have with them, like those guys that I was in Afghanistan with, that bond right there is totally different than the bond I have with the guys at the duty station. Because still to this day, if any of those guys that I was deployed with called me, I would run through a wall for them. They like that, like he said, laying your life on the line, like those, like we literally had our life on the line every single day. So if there's anything that I could ever do for those dudes, like the understanding the level of relationships as you go through life is also important. I just want to expound on that.
Thank you, Wes, for saying that. Because I'm really curious, at least from you and Wes, because I think I'm really curious to hear like your story too, just a little bit if you feel like sharing your experiences. Just like what made you want to join, brother, specifically you. Because I'm gonna get to Wes in a second, but I want to get to you. What made you want to join?
No, yeah. I do have to say right now, I am going to be here for a few minutes because me and Pop's about to go live here in about 30 minutes.
Don't worry, bro. I'll be over there too.
So what made me join? So my junior year in high school, it was starting to get to a point where it was like, all right, what am I going to do next? After I graduate, what's going to be next? Because my house was, you know, the typical home. Hey, yo, when you turn 18, when you graduate, you have to figure something out. And my mother told me your only two options are going into the military or going to community college. I had to go to community college. College was a requirement if I was going to stay in her house. So it was like, you're going to get out or you're going to go to school and you're going to stay here. Those are the only two options that she gave me. It's not that she was trying to push me out. She was just trying to make sure that I did something. Right.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to go to community college because I wasn't trying to go to college and still be working at Domino's. I wanted to realistically be able to take care of myself. So at that point, it was, all right, the military is the way to go. Like that's the option that I have. So I started talking to my family. We started having conversations. And my father, who's an Army veteran, he was like, look, I'm down for you to go. The only thing I ask is don't go Army, don't go Marines. Right. Those are the only two options. Because in his mind, he was trying to keep me from out of going to war, which ended up happening anyway. So it was Navy and Air Force. Those were pretty much the only two. I mean, I could have went Coast Guard, but we really.
Yeah, who goes Coast Guard?
Yeah, West know what I'm talking about. So then I don't like water. I don't like boats. So Air Force was the only option. And then I went to take the ASVAB, and I actually scored very high. I don't remember my score because it was so long ago. But I actually scored very high. I initially signed up to be a UAV pilot. That's initially what I signed up to be.
Okay.
And then my recruiter, if I see it, hey, quick question, Wes, if you saw your recruiter in real life, would you drop kick him or would you shake his hand?
I wouldn't be very nice to him, but it has been a while.
Okay. So
I can tell you a story on that when we get back to it.
Yeah. But my recruiter, he did his job very well. He enticed me. Hey man, hey, I know you're ready to go. Just sign this contract. Just take security forces, sign this contract. When you get to basic training, if you want to change your job, you can change your job then. Right? That's in a nutshell what he said to me. In a nutshell. Okay. Right? But it literally was my only two options was going to community college and working a minimum wage job or going into the military to where I can take care of myself. All the benefit, like when you look at the benefits, the fact that you get paid guaranteed, no matter if I took a day off of work or whatever, no matter no matter what happened, I was guaranteed to make a certain amount. I had all kinds of amazing benefits. And then the opportunities that you can get when you get out of the military, it sounded like a no-brainer to me. So it was just like, all right, let's do it. And what I appreciate about basic training in particular was it literally broke me all the way down and built me all the way back up.
Okay.
Because it was a lot of childish shit that I was doing, and I had to get out of all of that, and it just built me all the way back up to rebuild my mind frame, and it was hard. I'm not gonna say it was hard. It was uncomfortable, but it was necessary.
Okay. I hear that a lot from a lot of veterans. Like you're supposed to be like it makes you uncomfortable to get you in a comfortable spot so that it pushes you to do a little bit better. But also, you persevere is what that's I tend to hear that a lot. And you just confirmed it even more when you said it. So I definitely agree with that. But what since you are going live in 30 minutes, I'm probably gonna ask you these two questions and I'll let you bounce so you can do your show. And I'm gonna hop on a little bit later onto that too. Because you support me, I support you, bro. I got you.
No, appreciate it. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to show up and step on your toes, Wes.
Oh, it's all good. This was
No, guys. I actually
want
wanted Wes.
So
No, it's cool. I actually want to watch and Wes here for this because I really want Wes to really come in because I really want to hear his story too. Because I know Wes was military too, but after me and you off a Kaya show, you told me you were former military. So I'm really curious to hear a brother. Besides, that's actually not my sibling or my dad to actually tell me their experience. So that's why yours meant the most because you got a little girl too. So I kind of want to just get to know your experience. But I would say, brother, after you left technically in this case, after you left the unit in the Corps, was it a drastic change for you? Just going home?
For me?
Yeah, for you.
After I got out, going back home,
Yes.
I'll tell you the hardest transition was leaving the sandbox and coming back home. That was the hardest transition. That was the hardest transition. Getting out was difficult because civilian life is definitely different than military life. It's just different, right? Sometimes it's hard to explain, but it was difficult. But coming back from the sandbox was the most difficult transition I had to make. I want to say thus far in my entire life. Because especially considering the job that I was doing over there, like the mentality that you have to be able to survive that is crazy. I remember in particular, there was one day where we were sitting in a dining facility and we were having a good time. I remember specifically the playoffs was going on and it was LeBron against KD, the Thunder against LeBron in Cleveland. I remember sitting and I was watching that finals, LeBron and KD, and we were sitting down in the facility. Everybody was eating, we was having a good time, and the alarm goes off. Somebody was attacking the base, and at that very moment, everybody got up out of their chair. When I say was super excited, like I'm talking about, let's fucking go, let's go, like ready to take somebody's head off. And I remember for myself in particular, I was a driver, I did radio, and I was a gunner. I did all three.
Okay.
And I remember being on my truck and putting my M2 on the truck, and I'm twisting the barrel on my gun, and I stopped and I thought about it. I was like, yo, I'm really getting hype about going to kill somebody right now. Like, this does not feel right. Like, I remember having that realization in my head, and it was like, yo, like, this does not feel right. And the problem was I knew I had to snap out of that, because if I carried that, I would, like, again, the mentality is like, if you carry that, you're going to die today, bro. Like, you have to snap out of that bullshit. If you don't fix this, you're going to fucking die today. So when I made it back home and now I'm living in a regular life, and, now I get to go to McDonald's, I get to go to Popeyes, and I get to chill with my daughter, and I get to go see my moms. And it's like, everything's supposed to be nice and normal, but I still felt weird, right? Anybody that understands anything about the tactics of these individuals, right, using IEDs, the markers that they set up to mark their IEDs, like anybody that understands their tactics, driving on the highway was the most anxious, like that was the highest anxiety level I ever felt, because just when you're riding down the street, one of their markers was they used to take a grocery bag, like let's say, for example, like a Walmart bag, and they would tie it to a pole, to mark wherever their IED was. And I remember one day driving on the highway, and it was a grocery bag that was just flapping on a tree. And when I saw the bag, like my hands tightened up on the steering wheel, my breathing started getting heavy, and I literally just started sweating. And my lady sitting next to me, she's like, "Yo, like, what's wrong? Like, what's going on?" And I couldn't explain it. It was just like in my mind, it was like, I just gotta get past. Like, it was just like, get past this marker, get past this marker. So the whole time, I'm just like, man, that transition was the hardest transition I've ever had to face in my life. To answer your question.
All right, my man. I'm gonna ask you one more, and then I'm gonna let you go and start your show, brother. And to touch up on what you said, I think that's one of the scariest things for me, because if I do join, I'm afraid it's gonna change who I am personally, and because I don't want that disconnect from, reality around my brothers and my friends and family. I don't want that disconnect, even though I may make a core unit within that that amalgamation of brothers and sisters. I don't want to lose that, because I'm afraid it'll change me to something I'm not. I'm just not going to be the same person, and I might not turn into a psycho or whatever. I'm never going to say that about military men. Just be unstable, and I don't want to live my life like that, especially if I'm trying to find a woman to be together with at that point in time. That just can't happen. I can't freaking do it, bro. I'm not gonna be able to freaking just integrate with society like that. And my heart goes out to those people, to those brothers out there who's actually served, who serve like you guys here, having to deal with the anxiety and things that come back with that, because that's something that nobody should ever have to go through, especially when they join up to be, I'm not saying become trigger happy and stuff, but just to, reel yourself back into the real world, to have that life. Some people actually got so used to it that they just stayed in the military life. It's another thing my father and my brother told me, because it's just like, no, I can't. Like, this is where I'm supposed to be. This is where I need to be. So it's just, they can't go back. If they have family, it's a little bit different. They try to use their family as an anchor to come back home to. This is what I was trying to talk about when I'm talking about the Punisher, because he's former military, and the thing that was anchoring him so hard to anchoring him to the real world was his his kids and his wife. So that's why I actually have a lot of respect for that story, because I think a lot of veterans can relate to that, because it's what keeps you and grounds you there. But I think I have one more. Yeah, let's I'm asking one question. I'll let you go, bro. So what? I would say, has it gotten easier for you ever since you left now? Like a little, or should I say, is the transition still there for you?
It's a daily thing, just to make sure I stay consistent, just to make sure I don't fall back in that hole. It's a consistent thing, just making sure I stay in a positive mental space. It's definitely gotten a lot easier. Like the first 6 months was horrible. I want to say about 6 to 8 months was horrible. It was a lot of stuff I didn't know that I was dealing with, that I ended up finding out I was dealing with by going to mental health, talking to other service members, because there are plenty of guys that have, like, my squad leader had been deployed. That was his 13th deployment. My first was his 13th. You see what I'm saying? So managing it's not impossible. It's not a hard thing. So where I'm at today is I'm definitely in a good place. I'm at the point to where I can appreciate it, because it definitely made me a whole lot stronger now than what I was before. You know what I'm saying? Like, it built me up to, like, when you guys hear me talking on these platforms, and the perspective that I have, and the calm that I have, it a lot of it stemmed from my experience there. But I do want to say this, because I have a few more minutes, so I can chill and you can ask Wes some questions, because I want to hear some of his answers as well.
Okay.
But I do want to say this: I don't want people to have this idea that the military is nothing but these negative experiences, right? I know that my experiences came out this way for two reasons: one, because of the job that I picked, and two, because of the job that I picked. Okay. In the Air Force, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, at the time when I looked it up, sometime last year, at the time when I looked it up, only 15% of the service members in the Air Force ever deploy to a combat situation. I think it's like 15% or something like that. That might be a little high, but it's only like 15%. And then even in that 15%, it's less that actually see combat. So I don't want people out here thinking that it's nothing but war. Like as soon as you get into the military, all you're gonna have is just gunshots and gunshots and gunshots. Okay, because especially I can't speak for the Marines or any other branches, because they're built differently. The Marines were built for shit like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what they were built for. That's what they're trained for. That's why a lot of people join the Marines. That's why a lot of them do join, because they want that. They're looking for that. But the reality is, a lot of you guys aren't even going to see combat. Like it's the truth. Like a lot of guys are just not going to see combat. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it's the job that I picked because I was being impatient. There are plenty. Like if you get a medical job, you can probably stay at your home station. You can make a nice amount of money. You can get out. You can get a job at a hospital. You know, it's not all of this negative stuff. It's not as bad as what people like to believe that it is. There are so many great things that you can receive from being in the military. Like I said, just being broken down and actually having to look at yourself, just really having to look at yourself, reflect, and understand that there are things greater than you. Like there are things bigger than you. Understanding that you can fit into, and a lot of people feel I don't understand why a lot of people are opposed to it, but understanding that it's bigger than you and you're a cog in a machine. It's life. Like Jay, your life is no more important than Wes's life. Wes's life is no more important than mine. That's the reality of life. So when you go through life like, nah, I don't want to be a part. Like, so you too good for that? You know, like it's not.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying, bro. And I really appreciate those words just now. That really hit me just now because I've always considered military men to kind of be, I'm not saying better than people, but I consider them to be really brave and honorable people because my father did it and my brother did it. And I got a cousin that did it too. And the thing is, like I said, I kind of hold y'all to maybe like, it's kind of weird to say, I hold y'all to a standard to be like, this is what the pinnacle of a man technically should be. You know, to be a place full of structure to where, you know, boys can become men, and you know they come back maybe back a little bit stronger than what they did when they left. You know, maybe like, you know, be able to actually have like the actual structure to lead a family, and also to have some sense of like, you know, some utility to bring to their community or amongst their family members who care about them. So I definitely see that. I definitely see what you're saying. Wes, I'm gonna let you go next. And a shout out to my man Marcus. He says I didn't originally join to shoot kill people. Jay Takashi and Watts. And also here's another one for him. Being part of the Marines, I didn't join to be all Call of Duty like and shoot and kill. I know, of course, you would bring in Call of Duty. He just made us laugh. Thank you. I know this is a serious topic, but I appreciate you making it have some levity in that. I appreciate that. But yeah, Wes, I'm gonna let you go next because I want Watts to hear a little bit, and then he's got to bounce. So I'm gonna ask him. So the same thing I asked him. Like I said, why did you want to join? And then I'll get to the second part after that too.
Well, suppose I just really wanted to get out of where I was. You know, the military is a collective of lost boys. You know, a lot of us joined because we are looking for some sort of rite of passage into manhood, or we're looking for that adventure. Some people get that out of their system in 4 years. I stayed a lot longer, and you know, several years ago, I joined the National Guard to try and complete my career. But it's this last time I joined was more for a functional reason, but the first time I joined the military is because I guess I just really wanted to get out of where I was, and I just desperately wanted a different life. But I specifically chose the Marines because I wanted that challenge and ability to prove myself.
Okay. When you say prove yourself, what What is it that you mean by that? Like with that branch in particular?
Well, because when when you stack them up, the Marines always brag about how they're the hardest, and even like people, even the other services will say, "Well, if that's what you want, you go join the Marines." That's there was even an actual study done on it several years ago, and when the results released, they identified the Marine Corps as the toughest basic training because they had the most bone fractures during basic training. So
I'm in the chat. I'm up here. I'm in the show. What's good?
Marcus.
Yo, Vaughn, you were just in
Yeah.
here, man. I wanted to have you on here, but thank you so much for that, Wes. And then the question, and the second question I'm gonna ask you for Washington,
Squad.
he bounces, is was it a hard transition for you once you left? Was it a hard transition for you to integrate back into like ordinary world time?
So I did 8 years in the Marine Corps, and I got out and I stayed in California, and then sometime later I actually got back into the Marine Corps, and that was during 2008. So things were, and it was really difficult to try and transition. Nothing is the same. You learn, especially when you join the military at the age of 18. Everybody else that goes, they learn a different set of skills. So trying to
Liam
get out
Neeson.
after 4
Let's
years,
go.
or what's that?
I said Liam Neeson taken particular set of skills.
A particular set of skills. So
There you go.
you just have different sets of skills. When you're getting out at 4 years or 8 years, all your skill sets are drastically different from all those people that just went into the civilian workforce. So it's a huge transition. Like just mentally trying to focus on, well, how do I do this? What do I need to do here? It raises the anxiety a lot.
No.
So there is a lot of, and years ago, the military was horrible. The government was horrible about supporting these transitions. In the past, like 2 decades, they've gotten a lot better at helping people transition over. There's like federal mandated required classes before you get out now to make sure you can somewhat transition over. So it depends on mindset. And some people, they get out and they go right about the life they would have had just fine. Mm-hmm. I'm someone that just kind of prefers the military. So the second time I got out was a bit harder, actually, because I had moved from California over to Georgia. And I do remember I was out for a few months and I decided to start going to school. And I was going to be my first day of classes. And I parked in the gym parking lot. And they had a walking bridge from the gym to the other side there to get across the road. And I remember when I was trying to get onto the bridge, I had to stop because the only thing I could think about is how exposed it was. Because, Watts gets it. In the military, open areas are dangerous. So I kind of had to
call it open season or open target season.
Yeah.
Marines.
So I had to really had to calm down, think about it, and just kind of push myself through it because I knew I was going to be okay, but all your instincts, your calibrations are off. That's why people have a hard time understanding that they need to recalibrate.
I want to ask both of y'all real quick. I'm sorry, Jay. Ask y'all both of y'all real quick.
Right.
When I say the phrase "get off the X," what does that mean to y'all?
Get off the X.
Get off the X. Does that?
It's kind of like Stephen A. Smith. Get off the weed, but get off the X. That's how I take it.
No. Okay, no. I just the reason I asked is because even though there are so many similarities, there are differences as well, right? Marines compared to the Air Force compared to the Army, whatever. But when you were talking about that bridge, the first thing that went in my mind was off the X. And that's a phrase that they trained us on was the X is the contact point. X is, contact left. X is that get off the X.
Kind of like tip of the chevron on the reticle on the gun, on the rifle. That's how I take it. Was that what you were trying to say for me?
No.
Duh.
It's just because when he said that the bridge was open, it's just like you're looking when you're on that bridge and you know that it's open. The only thing you're thinking about is where am I going to get shot from?
Yeah.
Where are
Right.
you going to shoot me from? And that bridge within itself is the X. That's the danger point. That's where contact will happen. That's where you gonna get fucked up.
Hmm.
You know. So when they say get off the X, that's how they train us. When they say get off the X, you have to maneuver off of your contact point. That, like I said, I just wanted to see where y'all, because again, y'all's training is totally different than, I'm not gonna say totally different, but y'all's training is a little different than
Right.
the other
Right.
branches. So
Right.
I just wanted to bounce that and see what y'all had.
Did
No,
you
thank you
guys?
for
Did you
doing
guys
that,
both
Watts.
already? Did you guys both already share a lot from both your guys' sides on Wes and 100 watts?
Yeah,
'Cause I came in late.
Yeah. Wes and Watts have shared their stuff. And personally, I like that you guys are asking each other questions. Like I said, I know Watts got to bounce a couple minutes, and I want to tell everybody, yo, hop on, like I said, hop on, my man Watts' channel.
Finesse Visions.
Finesse Visions, my man. Him and his pops do a live stream every Sunday, and I'm gonna hop on it after we get done with this stream a little bit. Just show my man some support and some love. So like and subscribe to him. Also,
And
like I said,
today we're talking about college versus the military.
Yeah, I
it's
couldn't
perfect,
jump on the
yeah.
I couldn't jump on the other topic of GOAT James versus Jordan, but boy, you tripping. Jordan is a GOAT. You tripping.
Go ahead.
He's my
I think-
GOAT. Okay,
Go-
I'll say it. He's my GOAT. You can have James. He's
Okay.
my GOAT though.
Okay.
But back to the
See,
topic. Back to the
okay,
topic.
okay, look,
you
Marcus,
try to
look,
break the
Marcus,
military, man.
this is what you need to do. You need to come and check me out tomorrow. I'm starting a new sports show tomorrow called Keep It a Bean. Come fuck with me tomorrow.
Oh, I don't know if you're ready for that. I got my statistics, son. I got my paper, my analytics. I got all that stuff. Shoot. Nah. Yeah.
Yo, Marcus, you
I got
wildin'.
you, man. I got you. Bro, I love sports, bro. You can talk sports all day if you want.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So what was your question,
He's
though?
a sports holic.
What was
All
your
right.
question for
But
me, Jay?
your question for me, my man. Listen, what made you want to join the military, my man?
I think it's an overall mixture. Like for me, like Wes said, trying to get out of town. Also help for college, the benefits. And also make my parents proud. I wanted to just do something else besides just being that average, hardworking Mexican in America. I wanted to just be a guy who did something above that, and then I don't know, just maybe like the whole. I try to do a certain duty to the community and the country, but you find out later it's the way that the government and the politics of it works is very different, and it's not as what you think it would be. I think the closest thing I got to a certain resemblance, because all the recruiters at the time when I went to go take the ASVAB, I wanted to study more to get a higher test score because I wanted to work like in intelligence and I wanted to work in certain higher levels of certain jobs that I didn't get a chance to retake it because my recruiter just kept saying, hey, like, well, you got a passing score. I got like a 74 or 75. I was trying to get like an 85 to 90, but I didn't even get it. He didn't let me. He just, oh, you're good. You're good. You're good. So then he's like, he gave me the book to see what MOS listings for certain jobs we can get from the military. And then at that time, I was just very like, let me get into combat, not so I can kill people, but just maybe I can do other things that, I'm not trying to sound all Hacksaw Ridge is, but I wanted to do something like that where I can help people, make sure people can not die and bring them back if they were hurt or wounded. So the guy was like, well, we don't have any combat medics or something like that. We don't have for the Marines as far as available, but the closest thing would be like in a tank unit. And I'm like, okay, I'll be a tank unit guy. And then before you knew it, once I went to boot camp and then I graduated and then I went to MCT, which is Marine Combat Training. And then after that, I went into my tank school in Georgia. And I was gone out of home at the age of like 17, going on 18. I had joined around 2011, 2012. And at that time, I think the biggest issue we had was ISIS. ISIS was the biggest thing. And then I saw what they were showing us videos and clips. Like they were trying to prepare us for stuff that we were going to happen. Taught us how to make certain bombs and stuff. And I had friends in a certain unit that was attached to IEDs, and just things that I saw, like I didn't think I'd get to see. I thought it was just in the movies, but yeah, some of it's real, some of it's legit, some of it's a little more amped up for Hollywood. But there's a lot of rules of engagement in it, like Watts was saying on another stream. There's actually a lot of rules of engagement, and there's certain procedures that we do have to go through. And I was just learning all this stuff as I went. I had a buddy of mine who got a huge test score that got him stationed in Area 51. And we got to meet up together. We got to talk, exchange information. Some of the stuff that he learned that he was not at liberty to discuss, but certain things he was able to somehow, between me and him, get to conversate. And I was fortunate enough, like Hunter Watts was saying, there's a lot of good things you can take out in the military. There are certain bad things that happen in the military, but I try to take the best of what I could learn from there and apply it to the world, whatever I could. When I got back home, when I graduated from boot camp and all that kind of stuff, I just saw my parents' face and it made them proud. I think a lot of that sold me for them. And at the time, I was also trying to help my dad become a citizen. If I could help him out with that to become legal in America, and I couldn't. I was bummed out about that, but just seeing his face when he saw me, because he wasn't happy. My father wasn't supportive of me joining the military at all at first. He wasn't that happy. He told me, no, and this is no disrespect to Wes and anything, but my dad said, you had no business being in a white man's war. And I didn't understand what he meant by that, like completely. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, you mean like the bullshit of it, like the politics of it? And he's like, you'll find along the way and then you'll learn.
Yeah, shit like that only comes from somebody who don't know. Like that shit comes from somebody on the outside, man. Because I'm gonna keep it a whole being. Like whenever somebody says that shit to me, like I low key get offended, bro. Like it because it doesn't
Because
matter.
we're all here.
Yeah, it doesn't matter why you think we're there. It doesn't matter who you think started it or whatever. Like at the end of the day, that shit is part of the fucking freedoms that you have to do what you're doing, dog. Like it doesn't fuck that. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? I hate when people say that shit. But I want to ask y'all a question real quick. Before I do hop out, because I am gonna hop out now. But I want to ask two of you guys a question real quick. Two questions. Did you guys have anybody show up to see you at your basic training graduation?
Yeah, my family came.
My family came.
Your family came?
My dad couldn't though. My dad, but my mom and relatives could.
Tell me about that feeling. Like graduating basic training, family coming to see you. Like, tell me about that feeling.
Felt good. They sat in the wrong section though, so that was a little disheartening at first.
Marcus, you muted yourself. Marcus, you muted yourself.
Oh, there he is.
Sorry, no, my bad. It's because my dog was making noise. That's why I muted myself. No, for me it was like a sigh of relief because I didn't quit. I graduated, and then also I understood why my dad couldn't go because he's illegal. He couldn't cross. He didn't have the documentation to show for it to get into the base. But I thought it was cool. My mom kept crying. I was just chill. Like I didn't really get emotional. I was proud of it. I was proud I earned it. I busted my butt and I didn't quit, and I persevered through it. And it's just I wrote letters to my family throughout boot camp, and a lot of letters did not get back to me. So I was wondering, like, do they not want to write me back? But then I'm like, well, as long as they received it is all I care about, even if I don't get it back. But it was cool because I saw them there, and they were just cool with me, and like they were like happy for me, and it was just an overall dope experience. But overall, nothing negative,
Oh yeah, mine's was definitely the same. My family came to see me. It was a great feeling because like you were talking about, Marcus, like wanting to make your family proud, like the proud feeling I had within myself, knowing that I made it through it, Everything that they threw at me, it never broke me. Being able to actually make it to the end and be in that uniform, to get that coin at the end, like to do that run, to do that run and run down the street and everybody's cheering, like it was all an amazing experience. And it was definitely like, all right, it's you did it. Like,
This
now it's
first
time for
chapter
you
is
to
done.
actually
Yeah.
now it's time for you to actually get to enjoy the time that you spent, because that time, y'all's time is longer than what ours is. Y'all's training was what, 13 weeks?
Yeah.
13. Ours was 8.5, not counting 0 week. But it's just everything you went through. The late nights being up, the early mornings they come in there fucking with you, the times you were standing in formation being hungry as fuck. Death by PowerPoint. We all know what the fuck that is. The relationships that you built with the people who were there next to you. It was an amazing feeling, man. Getting to the end and having the family there to see you. It was an amazing thing. It was the start of something amazing, man. But Jay, man, I want to tell you I appreciate you letting me up. You having this conversation here on your platform is amazing. Because there are a lot of people who are trying to figure out what they're going to do with the next step in their life. And the military is definitely on the table for them, and they may have a fucked up perception or a bad idea of what is to come. But having these kind of conversations with actual veterans, not a recruiter. Don't not with a recruiter.
I don't put recruiters on here. I gotta put like actual men, like you guys
so
here.
Having actual service members that are up here, because hey, a recruiter is better than a car salesman. I've sold cars before. They're better than car salesmen.
I actually was a recruiter for the National Guard, and I'll go back to doing it. But I took care of my people. I took care of my people.
If they crossed over to the dark side.
It was a job, and I'm good at it. Haven't sold one cart full of bullshit once, because I tell them exactly what's going on. That's why they trust me. They come back. The National Guard's different, though. Active duty recruiter, they know they're never going to see you again. They don't care. National Guard, though, we'll have to look at you. So the smart ones, they figure out how to tell the truth. Like for my people, I wrote down in their little folders when they went into MEPS, this is what needs to be on your contract. If it's not on your contract, tell them you want to call me, and we will sort that out. And it works.
You were helpful. My recruiter, the day I signed the paperwork to say that, I did my oath and everything like that, that very day, that motherfucker went ghost. I could not find him. He was a fucking ghost. So I fuck with you. To Wes, especially to Marcus, thank you for your service.
I hear what you sound like the recruiter now, man.
Nah, man. No, hell no. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that.
All right.
Nah,
thank you so much.
Y'all be
for
easy, man.
brother.
Y'all be easy. I'm gonna definitely watch this back. I definitely want to hear from both of y'all, man. Y'all be easy.
I going as well. So the girls are done taking showers, and we need to go watch some TV together before I put them in the bed.
All right, got you. I got you, Wes, man. Listen, you go be a father, man. Do you? Appreciate
Thanks for having me. Bye.
Marcus, you still here? Oh, hold on. I got a private chat. I'll be right back, guys. Okay, guys. So Marcus said he'll be right back. I'm looking at my private chat right now. And guys, to the two people who are viewing and watching this, I really appreciate you guys watching the stream. Like I said, it's very necessary for young men or young ladies if they want to join, nonetheless, join the military or actually get a perspective of what it actually is. Like I said, my man Watts just put down the freaking Bible and just really put it down on you guys, and West too. So, like I said, there's something that I had to wrestle with if I wanted to join the military or not, even though I'm 30 now. I could do Air Force, if anything, but I think my biggest idea, like these guys just help alleviate some of that worry just now, really, because my whole thing when I was younger in high school was like, I don't know if even though I'm athletic, I don't know if I'm good enough to join the military. I don't know if I'm good enough. With my mindset. Not because I'm gun trigger happy or anything like that. I'm not. Not. I'm a guy that likes peace more than anybody. But I just don't want it to shape me into something that I don't want to be. If it can shape me to have structure and things like that, which I have a little structure in my life right now, but not a lot. But because I like my man Marcus right here, and right here, like what he said earlier, he didn't want to disappoint his family and his father. I personally, my father just pretty much programmed the idea of not disappointing him, and I just don't want to disappoint my father. I just don't. Even to this day, when I'm 30 years old, I don't want to disappoint him at all. I want him to be proud of me, and at least in the smart choices that I made. He and trust me, he's former military, former veteran, former policeman too. As I've said before in my previous streams, he's all those things, and he made time to teach me values and morals and values, but also just a military like train his son to like just not be a pushover and not like just be stupid and just be wild. Like you got to have some sense of structure, son. Even now to this day, whenever I kind of like don't wild out or whatever. But I just kind of like lay back a little bit chill. I always got to remember I have like unnecessary stress for some reason that I put or pressure that I put on myself in order to push me to be a little bit better. But at the same time, it doesn't inherently need to be negative. It could be a good thing to push me to motivate me to get my foot out the ground. Yo, to my man Watts here, I appreciate you. I was hoping Von Bryant would hop up. I mean, yeah, dude. He tried to come on 2 times and I let him in. He said I still have this comment here. He said he's struggling. He said he's struggling streaming. Sorry, and I told him once he fixes it, he can come on up because I want to hear what he has to say too. Just like I heard you and Wes and Marcus. But hold on, guys. Guys, I'm going to take a 2-minute break. I have to get something to drink because my throat is very dry, and we're going to continue this conversation and stream. Like I said, this won't be a very long stream, depending on who comes up. Like I said, depending on how many people come up, it could be shorter or it could be longer. But yeah. But I think like an hour and 50 minutes is what I'm looking for. But yeah, I'll be right back, guys. All right, guys, I'm back. All right, there we go, guys. Yeah, we're all good. Sorry about that. Um, I apologize for that, guys. My audio is acting weird, so I apologize for that. And yeah, we got 5 minutes. If nobody comes in 5 minutes, then I'm gonna end this stream early, and I'll end it like I said, and I'll end it with some nice words. I'll end it with some words of encouragement, and also with my thoughts on what this stream could have, how good the stream was, even though it was very short. Yeah, like I said, we'll be ending in about 5. But I'm just gonna say some words, whatever. So after hearing what I heard from my man Marcus, from my man Watts, from my man Wes, there are a lot of things in the military that are mostly might be good for people. I would say this overall, based on the words that they said, don't go in with fear that it might change you all around. Just going with the open mind, but also going with the intentionality to seek some structure. Because like I said, it could give you many different things overall. And I think one of the things that I've learned from these cats is, going, like I said, with open mind. Um, don't think it's just this negative, neglective hate type organization that makes you go out and kill people just regardless, because that's not what it is. Because if any of you cats, all in all, have seen Captain America more often than not, you know what he stands for, basically, because he is a soldier and he doesn't like bullies, and that's one of the reasons why he wanted to join, because his family had did it, and and so on, etc. Generations. So I think what I take and learn from things, especially soldiers, particularly, that their life is not something to be made fun of, is something to respect, and also to something to be honor bound by, and also something that should be congratulated. Sorry about that. And I want to thank everybody who came on here, every brother that showed up, Wes, Watts, and my man Marcus. Just to share their experience and to tell me things and actually give me different perspectives on what the military meant for them. And that's simply just for me, because because like I said, change my mind on some things actually. Because this is probably going to take me a couple of days to marinate in my brain about what they said. Because, like I said, because I know there are some good things the military does do for people, and for some it could be a home. So, anybody who is like really not going through something, anybody who is at a point in life that want to decide of what they should do, if they have no way of either going through college, then the military might be for you, in a sense, if you want to make a difference, do something. Like I said, it doesn't just have to come from college. It can also come from military too. So, also, like I said, so going with a key, going with some research, but also, you know, going with an attitude. I say attitude. Going with the attitude that's like ready to seek knowledge from the hard work and labor and the structure that comes with being in the military, and also probably the core unit of brothers or sisters you'll be around. So I'm gonna end it off here, because nobody seems to be coming in after this. So this is a lot shorter of a stream than I thought I was going to be. And like I said, once again, thanks to all the panelists, my man Wes Watts, my man's Marcus, and the people who tuned in. I really appreciate you coming in too. So this has been Jay Takashi. Oh, hold on, Marcus, hold on. Yeah,
Hey,
Marcus,
my bad, Jay.
no, it's cool, bro. I was just about to end it, but I.
You were just about to
I
end
am.
it?
Yeah, because nobody else was coming back on, so I was just gonna end it right now. But I do have two more questions for you before I end it off. So okay, and yeah, after you answer your two, then I'm gonna end it, and then both me and Marcus are gonna go on watch this channel.
Yeah,
At least
that's
for
what we're
the
gonna do. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. Just
yeah.
that some family stuff came up last minute and the dog and all that.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine, man.
Yeah,
Like I
I
said,
like
we
to
all
do
got
a
lives.
I like to do a part 2 on your stream of military veterans and talk about like
Okay.
serious stuff, like experiences out there and whoever shipped out and whoever came back and like PTSD and stuff like that.
Definitely. We can do. I can make a part 2 for sometime this week too. We could do that. Yeah, because I think Vaughn Bryant wanted to come on, and I want to get in touch with him and make sure he comes on so we can have more people sharing this. So I think the question I'll ask you before we go. So what? Because what made you want to join? I said, was it a hard transition? For when you left the military
Um,
to seek in the real life.
well, like yes and no. Like I was glad I was back home, but then it's like a lot of stuff was like hitting me, like just readjusting because you have like a set schedule and like it's kind of like school, but also at the same time you're working. You get up like at 4:30 in the morning, work out for a bit, get ready for the work day, and then you get off. And then you go to lunch, which is like around 11 to like 12, and then you come back, and then you go to work, and then sometimes your work doesn't end at 4 or 5. Sometimes it'll end at 8 or 9. Sometimes you could be out in the field, like days on end, weeks. Sometimes field can be also like months as well. And then you're just showering on wipies and stuff, which sucks because I need a shower, but we don't have them out there. And like it was weird because like it was and when it wasn't, because you get like the social kind of anxiety a little bit, and then you're used to working at such a fast pace. You get up and people are like sometimes just yelling at you to go like move, and then you have this amount of time, and then it's like you're on military time as opposed to standard regular civilian time. Just things like that, and then like making your bed like right when you get out real quick, and then making sure like for me, one of the things I was relieved of not doing the military was not having to shave every day, because I would get like the razor bumps, and they'd make sure you get like clean. That shit sucks. So I had to go and get like a medical chit from the corpsman, because I was like, oh well, I don't want to get an infection down there, so I wouldn't. I had this thing where it was like every 2 days I was able to shave, and like so every Monday and then Wednesday or Thursday I have to make sure I shave it down, and just stuff like that, And then I'm glad you don't have to get a haircut every week, because that shit costs money to get it weekly. Mm-hmm. Shit costs money, especially now. Haircuts in California, they're like $40-$50.
Oh, that's California. They're 50, yo. These guys are.
Yeah, they're like, it's like $40. It's like no, like I think 35 to 40 was the lowest.
Dude, I think when I was in Florida, it was like maybe below 20, like 17, maybe 16, depending on what I got.
that used to be the one in California. It used to be 15. Now it's like double. Now it's like between 30 to 40, depending on where you go.
No haircut should be $50. The hell is going?
Yeah, well, and the reason why I say sometimes it's 50 is because 40, and then sometimes the guys will tip them $5 or $10. And
do you have to tip?
You don't have to, but like for me, like when it used to be 15, I would tip my barber $5, because like he did a good job.
I would do that if I get him 20. Yeah, if I get him 20, that's about it. I mean, no more than that.
No,
but it's like,
but here it's no
$40 on a. Yeah, that's weird to me.
That's gas, right? That's gas money.
You get a massage. Yeah, you get a massage.
Yeah, no happy ending though. No happy ending. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I guess the last part is so has it been easier since you left? More so, do you feel like you're back in the place, like you feel a little bit normalized that you've like kind of left, but you still have the structure in your brain?
I have some of the structure. Yeah, I think part of it was just like missing having to do something you're proud of, I guess. Because sometimes when you're in there, it's like you're doing something you're proud of. Like it's like being a firefighter, but then you stop being a firefighter. You were proud of that. You help people and save people and be a part of the community where you're serving the community. I guess I think part of that is why maybe I missed it. And then when you would put on that uniform, you just felt like you were. I don't know. It's kind of like putting on your cape, kind of type thing, like a superhero.
Right.
And then you kind of just once you put it away, I kind of felt like Christian Bale in Dark Knight Rises when he was out like in retirement, kind of like all like, oh man, like I'm so rusty, like because I remember I was active duty and then I went into a reserve unit, and then while I was in the reserve unit, I was like, well, fuck this, because I tried having a civilian job and I was doing great in school, but I tried having a civilian job and it wasn't working out. So I asked my I&I staff, which is like there's an active duty staff while there's a reserve unit in there that works while we're off. And I asked him, he's like, "Wait, can I get special orders to be activated? And I'll work here on the base. I don't care if I drive an hour to work or hour and a half almost. I'll just do it." And I did it. I did it for a while. I was driving from La Quinta all the way to up 29 Palms, which is like about an hour 15, hour 20 drive in the morning. And I would get paid bonus money. So I would get paid. At that time when I was like a Lance Corporal, I was getting paid like almost as much as a staff sergeant, basically, because they gave me like it's a special orders, so you get like the perks benefits to it. You get like gas coverage, you get food coverage, you get all that stuff. You get like gym. I can go work out in gyms and stuff, and things like that. Plus, I was working on tanks. I was working on weapons, so that was pretty cool. And yeah, it was legit. Like, I would only drive back home like twice during the week, and then the weekends I'd have it off. And so I would just stay on base like 2 or 3 days out of the week, and then the other days I would just drive back because I had school.
Oh, okay. I appreciate you telling me that, and to everybody who was watching, whatever, I will make a part 2 because I actually I'll try to get Watson on that one too. If he can join whenever he can.
I know Watts was saying some jokes because you guys were laughing. You guys were laughing while I was muted. I couldn't hear it though.
He was saying some stuff basically, but like I said, you always go back and rewatch the stream. So I'm gonna end it here today, and I'm gonna edit it and call it the part 1 Veterans Day, and I'm gonna make a part 2 sometime this week. And you got to know what day I'm off or what time I get, how early I get up, because this week might be a little bit different because waiting for these people at the job to tell me so we're just seeing. But yeah, guys, this has been Jay Takashi, man, and this is my man Marcus. And if you like this stream, be sure to like, comment, subscribe too, because your comments matter, and I will respond to them and actually read them. So you ever get a chance, just like I said,
can I say the last thing too?
Put it in the back. Go ahead. This is the veterans, man.
Yeah. And I want to apologize because I know I left in the middle of it. I came a little late, but I also left and I had some stuff to take care of. So I want to apologize because I felt like I was being rude, and I want to just apologize real quick. And then I wanted to make sure I gave my undivided attention because this is one of those streams that really matters to me. It's important, and I just didn't want to feel like I was ignoring somebody or disrespecting somebody by not paying attention. So shout out to the comments out there too. So
Oh, yeah, definitely, bro. But I want to say this: you wouldn't be disrespectful to anybody. Trust me, I'm the one that disrespectful to my chat when I was sleeping. So
yeah, no, it's just because my dog was making noise, and their family came over, and then some stuff happened. I had to talk about it out real quick. Personal stuff. Yeah, some personal stuff. We got to talk about some business and all that kind of stuff. That was it.
Okay,
but it took me like 20 minutes or some shit. Yeah,
man. If you want to, you can share it to me over the phone. You ain't gotta talk about it here. But yeah, we can converse about that later. Yeah, guys, head over to 100 Watt stream. Support my man too. And like I said, it's been Jay Takashi, my man Marcus Rodriguez. So peace out. And part 2 will be coming out sometime this week. So be on the lookout for that.
Check us out on Finesse Visions. Go jump to Finesse Visions channel as well. Subscribe to them.
Yeah, subscribe to them.